what's up guys? So I'm going to be comparing the original Vault to the Vault 2, as I have them both right here in front of you guys. The original Vault to my left, the Vault 2 on my right. I'll try to put them side by side for you guys. There you go, so you guys can actually see a size difference automatically. But yeah, so let's just jump right into it. Let's just compare the specs between both of them. The original Vault is running 4.4.2 KitKat, and the Vault 2 is running 5.1.1 Lollipop. As far as weight, they both weigh the same. They're 136 grams. That's 4.8 ounces. The original Vault has a 4.7-inch display. The Vault 2 has a 5-inch display. While the original Vault's resolution is at 540 by 960 pixels at 234 pixels per inch for the original Vault. The Vault 2 has a 720 by 1280 pixels on the display at 294 pixels per inch. Both are IPS LCD displays. Both support multi-touch. Both phones have an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera. The features on the original Vault had smile detection, back illuminated sensor, autofocus, and geotagging, while the Vault 2 has face detection, smile detection, self-timer, autofocus, touch-to-focus, geotagging. Both have HDR mode, and both shoot at 920 by 1080. That's 1080p HD at 30 frames per second on recording video. The original Vault had a 1.3 front-facing camera, while the Vault 2 has a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. The chipset in the original Vault was a Snapdragon 400, clocked at 1.2 gigahertz, and it is a Qualcomm quad-core processor. And the Vault 2 has a Snapdragon 410, clocked the same at 1.2 gigahertz, and it is quad-core. The original Vault had an Adreno 305 GPU, while the Vault 2 has the Adreno 306. Both have 1 gig of RAM, or 1 gig of RAM. Both have 8 gigs of internal storage, with the Vault having, I believe, 3.42 gigs usable, and the Vault 2 has 3.38 gigs usable out of the 8 gigs of internal. Battery life, or battery size, actually 3000 milliamp on the original Vault, 2540 on the Vault 2. So the Vault 2 is actually down by 460 milliamps. Both are Bluetooth capable. They both have Wi-Fi that operates on 802.11 B, G, and N frequencies. The Vault 2 having mobile hotspot. Both of them use USB 2.0. Both support a micro USB card, and the micro USB card can be up to 32 gigs in size. So that's actually pretty awesome right there. The original Vault had NFC Infrared Tethering, while the Vault 2 does not have NFC. It only has basically tethering, to your computer, and that's pretty much it. So that's it really for spec, guys, that I really want to dive into, and just kind of like do some slight comparisons here and there. Both of them actually have tap to wake, where actually the function works better on the the Vault 2 than the original Vault. Let me go ahead and unlock my Vault 2. Okay, so now you guys can see right here, this is what they look like. I know my camera right now is not doing any justice whatsoever, but yeah, here you go. Here are devices side by side. There is a slight difference with the Vault 2, but not drastically too much. When you're looking at colors, let me see if I have the brightness turned up all the way. There we go. We have the brightness all the way up on the original Vault, and let's turn it up all the way on the Vault 2. And there you go. Obviously, that is the difference between the two. So not by the consumer standpoint, looking at both of them, there's not really much of a difference as far as screens, screen how it looks. But if you're a total geekhead, yes, you will find exactly what you want to complain about between both these displays, and you will find the weakness in the Vault with its 540 by 960 versus 720 by 1080 on the Vault 2. Now, other things to kind of consider here is hardware. Okay, so as you guys can see, The controls are actually on the back of the Vault 2. So you have volume down, volume up, and power button in the middle. Your flash is off to the right, and there's your 8 megapixel sensor. On the original Vault, you have flash. You have your 8 megapixel sensor. Your volume rocker is on the left. Your power button's on the right. So it holds the older tradition of a smartphone, technically so. Fingerprint smudges on the screen kind of annoy me. Anyways, yeah, so with the original Vault, you have this physical home button right down here at the bottom. And then you got capacitive back and menu. And if you long press your home button, it brings up your most recents, so you can clear them all out if you want to. Notification drop down is standard, as you guys can see. It rolls all the way to the bottom. You have all your shortcuts on the top, and that's pretty much it for screen. Now on the Vault 2, it is different due to the fact that it runs Lollipop. So with the Vault 2, basically your notification drop down only comes to a halfway point. When you flick it up, it goes away. So it actually only comes down halfway, but what's unique is, I don't know if you guys see this right here, but the Boost Mobile logo pops up right above the home button when you bring down your notification dock. But other than that, it actually doesn't go all the way down unless you have a lot of notifications, then it will. And of course you get your shortcuts right here, like your Wi-Fi, data, sound, Bluetooth, airplane mode. It's all right there, and you can easily customize them. So as far as the Optimus UI, as you guys can see, it's very, very, very different. We'll open up the app drawer, and some of these stock applications like phone have been changed. So I'll go over here and you guys can see like phone has this darker greenish color, and it's like a lime green on the original Vault. And a lot of LG's stock applications are technically themed in the square box icon shape. So you see downloads is like orange, where if I go here, there you go, downloads right there. Contacts is this white with like a little teal green color around the shape of a head, whereas on the original Vault it's just looks like a planner. So there is some slight changes as far as the UI from the Optimus UI used on the original Vault from when it first came out to what basically how it looks now with Lollipop. Also with the Vault 2, you have your on-screen keys, your back, home, and recents app right here, and you can clear all the same, so not too much of a difference. Let's go to camera. Let's see if we can get the front-facing camera. Okay, here we go. That's up. And there I am. So I don't know if you guys can actually see the difference between the two, but there is actually a super huge difference. I'll kind of bring this up right now so you guys can see me. And you guys, if you guys can't tell, like the graininess of the shot. And that's just for a picture. So if I drop it down for video, then ask me if I want long video, and that's how it's gonna look for like a video recording. So it has like this little darker color, whereas on the Vault 2 it's much cleaner, much crisp. As you guys can see, definitely there's not a lot of graininess to it like there is with the original Vault. Try to hold this in my hand here. So if you guys can see, it's clear with the Vault 2. The Vault 1, there's this grainy effect to it, whereas on the Vault 2 it's not at all. Of course you can switch it to portrait mode from landscape, and there we go. So that is the front-facing cameras. Now let's switch it around to the 8 megapixel camera in the back, and that's the way it looks. So You guys can see that right there. Not too shabby, a little bit better than the front-facing camera, I must say. Okay, and we'll do the same here with the Vault 2, so you guys can see how the 8 megapixel camera on the Vault 2 is. And let's flip that around. So, okay, and there you go. That is the rear camera, and take a picture like that. Another photo, and not much of a difference between the two. Let's open up Geekbench so that can be used to just for comparison, since we have light things opened up right now. But anyways, just for my thoughts on the comparisons, I mean, the Vault 2 is, in a way, I would consider it a step up from the original Vault. I really I don't know, just I gotta say it's not bad at all. I'm trying to look for a Geekbench right here and I'm not finding it. Let's see, it didn't install. I wonder why. Well, let's install it right now. So anyways, the Vault 2, I would consider it a step up. Yes, there are certain things that it had either cut, basically, or didn't involve, like the battery being dropped down from a 3000 milliamp hour battery on the original Vault to a 2540 on the Vault 2, and of course no NFC. Really is a drag for a lot of people. But we also got to remember that while building the Vault 2 and giving it some minor upgrades, like the screen resolution being upgraded to 720p HD, and the front-facing camera, there was some shortcuts that had to have been made in order for it to get to the price point of what it is at $149.99, which is basically its base price point. Best Buy, you can get it for $100. So anyways, let's run some benchmarks right now, and we'll let them go before we close out this video. But if you're a fan of the Vault, you're going to find the Vault 2 to actually quite refreshing. You will feel that it is a upgrade rather than a letdown, as like I said, they did cut some things that we were offered in the Vault. And yeah, for me personally, I feel like the Vault will remain one of the best prepaid budget smartphones ever released, just for the simple fact that the low resolution display, which doesn't look bad at all, combined with a 3000 milliamp hour battery, gave long-lasting charge on one single charge with the original Vault. And you may not get that with the Vault 2. And I think that's where, from my belief, where LG was going with this was to bring some much updated specs, like to update the front-facing camera, to update the processing chip, to update the operating system in general, giving you the feel of you got an updated phone, but allowing the original Vault to not just be a device that's kicked to the past, but much rather actually be considered 2014's top budget device. So anyways, we're waiting for these benchmarks to finish up, and once we do, then I will close out this video. But other than that, I mean, they're both great devices. As you guys can see, the Vault 2 scored 463 on single core and 1407 on multi-core, so slightly better than the Galaxy S3. And I know some people are going to be like, well, that's not really much of a big thing, but hey, these benchmarks, they only tell you figuratively what to kind of expect, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're like super weak. So the original Vault got 344 with 1135. So as far as performance, it is a slight step up based on Geekbench 3. So, but the ultimate way you'll know if this phone is good is to actually pick up the Vault 2 and use it. user experience will count. So anyways, guys, that is it. My comparison with the LG Vault and the Vault 2, both offered on Boost Mobile, and great pickup options. So the Vault 2 is being offered at Best Buy for $99. You guys can pick it up there basically for $100. That's actually a pretty good deal. But originally, the Vault 2 is priced at $149.99. The original Vault, some websites are still selling it for $179. That's how good this smartphone is. Clear winner in all of this basically is going to go to the original Vault, because it did have some specs that you did not see in a budget device that you were able to get with this. While it didn't have a massive amount of storage, like 16 gigs of onboard storage or even 32 gigs of onboard storage, the fact that it had a 3000 milliamp hour battery, like I said, combined up with a low resolution display that actually looks quite beautiful in person, regardless of it being a 540 by 960 at 234 pixels per inch. The Vault clearly is a winner here, but it does not mean that the Vault 2 sucks. What it just basically means is the Vault 2 is a step up as far as upgrading and updating, but lacks a few things that we would have hoped that they have kept from the Vault over to the Vault 2. And honestly, if it made the Vault 2 $199, the same as the G Stylo, I definitely would have still bought the Vault 2 if it had the 3000 milliamp hour battery and NFC. So anyways, guys, that is my comparison of both devices. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section of this video. Subscribe if you have not. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share this on your social network to all your friends and family. And follow me on my social networks. Links are in the description that way. Yeah, pretty long video. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.